Hi, welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire, and you can find me online at chatandcraftwithlorraine.com or on Facebook at Chat and Craft with Lorraine. Today is Sunday, February 5th, and we are going to be playing with the Alphabet a la mode dies. These are a new set of dies that are in the mini catalog, the January to April. I'm hoping that they'll stay around for a long time because they're really fun. They're a nice thin alphabet die. You can fit a lot more letters on a card front or words than with previous dies that we've had because those were a little bit bigger. And it also comes with numbers 0 through 9, an and sign, an exclamation sign, a little heart, and some other things. And it has multiples of some of the more commonly used letters to make it a little bit easier to do some words. So I had a couple of objectives for today. I wanted to make some slim line cards because I have, now of course I can't find them. I've purchased a couple of packs of these slim line envelopes that we sell. I love these. I like having an envelope already made, and I want to make some cards to go in those. I wanted to use the Alphabet a la mode dies, and I need some more Valentines, and I need some masculine birthday cards. So trying to hit a couple of those different objectives with whatever I do. So when I was playing and getting ready, I made this card. I decided to use this paper. It's called Enjoy the Journey. I always want to call it Enjoy the Moment, but it's Enjoy the Journey. And it has mountains. Let's see, I should take it out so I can show you. Sorry, I'm having trouble grabbing it. Okay, so it has some mountain scenes, some trees, um, wind, clouds, maybe that's waves, mountains and moons, sunsets, maybe. Let's see. And this piece here that you just saw, and then in the pinks and the reds, and then the other sides are fun. Starry nights, some zigzags, they're nice and bright, some pink lines, yellow triangles. What are these? Oh, greens, and almost like a batik kind of look. So I thought I wanted to start with using one of these mountains. Let me show you what I started with, if I can get back to that. Oh yeah, and put these mountains on a slimline card. Well, the slimline card is about 8.5 by 7. So you can see one card took up a lot of that mountain range. And I thought that was great for one card, but I didn't want to just make 2 cards out of a whole sheet of paper. So I decided I needed to make something go vertically. But I also wanted to show you that I only cut the birthday out of the patterned paper. And then the letters are actually just hollowed out, and that's the mat you see showing underneath. And I found that easier than having to glue all the letters back on, although I did have to glue in the insides of some of the letters that popped out. And then I just used Happy from the Biggest Wish stamp set to put on there. So Happy birthday. So this time, my piece of paper that was left when I cut off that other part looks like this. So I decided to cut off a piece that would go on the front of a card. But as you can see, this is the size mat I need. It's going to be a little short. So we're going to try something that I hope works with that. But first we'll go back and we'll cut a card base to fit in these envelopes. I had the package of envelopes around here that had the measurements on them. Oh, there it is. So these measure 3 7/8 by 8 7/8, and they come in 3 colors, smoky slate, white, and I think that's soft succulent. All right, so of course I want my card to be slightly smaller than the envelope in all of the dimensions. So I'm using the thick basic white, and I'm going to cut it 8.5 by 7. So I'm already 8.5 this way. So I'm going to cut it to 7, and then I will score that in half at 3.5. So here is 7. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to score that in half. So that will be 3.5. Okay. Give that a nice crisp fold with my bone folder. Okay. So now the mat will fit there. That mat is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4, and this is still too short. So I'm going to cut it in 2 spots so that we have 3 panels on the front with a little border in between. So I was thinking I wanted it to be either roughly the same, or this would be a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, and the biggest. So I'm thinking 1 3/4 and 4 1/4. So we're just going to go for it and see how that works out. So 1 3/4. Move that over just a little bit. Okay, 1 3/4. And that would be the top piece. None of this is adhered down yet, because if it doesn't work, we may have to try something else. And then I was thinking 4 1/4. That's, nope. What's 1 3/4? A quarter? 2 1/2. It would end up at 4 1/4, but it would be 2 1/2, I think. And then a little bit bigger. So that would go there, and this would go in the middle. And now it fills it up, and I feel like, oh, I'm backwards on this card base. There we go. And I feel like that would not be, that's a good use of my paper, and I'm not wasting that piece of paper. And then out of this, if I like this card, I can get probably 3 more going across on this piece of paper. So we'll try that afterwards. Now, I'm going to make this particular one a Valentine. So I want to cut out the word love. And usually I would cut it out from the mat where it's going to be covered up. Well, maybe we can still do that. But I also want to use adhesive sheets on the back of these. And I don't want a big hole, and I don't want to worry about not quite getting it right. So I'm not going to cut this out of my mat. I'm going to cut it out of a different piece of just a scrap of the Starry Night I'm using. I love this deep, deep blue. And I'm going to put the letters on nicely because maybe I'll use that cutout piece on something else. I'm going to use the adhesive sheets. And these come 6 by 12, and I can see I save my scraps. And I'm just going to cut a piece of this to go on the back. So I'm going to measure this a little bit. It's about 2 inches by 2 inches by 3 inches should be a great size. That's 6. So I'm going to cut off a 2-inch piece. And then 3 inches. I see we have a couple people that are watching and have popped on. I'd love it if you would say hello. And if you are new to watching, let me know where you're from. It's a beautiful day here today. My grandson and I spent some lovely time at the park. We ran each other around like crazy. All right, so I just took the release paper off of that and put it on the back side of my cardstock. Now I'm going to put my letters back onto the front. I'm going to try to get them even. So I'm going to put this up here so I have a straight edge. I'm trying to look around the camera. I don't know if I'm going to get that even enough to use again. I'm going to put a little piece of painter's tape over this, and I put this on my pants once already to get a little sticky off of it, and I used it on the birthday letters, so it's not super sticky, but it's sticky enough to hold those. Okay, let's get a couple of things out of the way. There we go, and I'm going to bring in my little mini cut and emboss machine. I love this mini size, and I love it that I could get it in the boho blue. This is going to be a new in color, boho blue, and there's some talk that a couple of in colors, old in colors, are coming back. That there's an online exclusive product that demonstrators can get right now, and that product has Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock in it. So people are projecting that those will come back. We don't have any official info on that, but March 1st is the date we might find out. Hi, Mary from Nova Scotia, and hi, Elizabeth from Oregon. Yeah, I bet it's cold and windy up north there. Okay, so I've got my love going through the mini cut and emboss machine. You're going to hear it crack a little because the plates are pretty new. And I'm going to roll it back the other way as well to make sure I cut through that adhesive on the back. Let's make sure. Yep, looks like I cut all the way through that. All right, so before I take those apart, let's go ahead and glue some of this together. So I'm going to start with putting these pieces on the mat. Hi, Jean. Oh, yeah, sunny and warm in Florida. I'm glad. You had some cold weather already down there. Okay, so I'm going to just leave a little border here.
I try to make it equal to the sides, but I'm not sure exactly how much I'm going to have in the middle. I'm going to place that there, but I'm going to do my top one first. I do the top and the bottom, and then split the difference with the one in the middle. And that helps it to be a little bit, it's a little safer that I'll get it even that way. Okay, and now this one in the middle. -38 yesterday. Well, you're having a heat wave today, Mary. I hope you got out there in that balmy 1-degree weather. We were down to about -13, and today it was in the 30s and sunny, so it felt beautiful. Okay, so I think that worked out pretty well. I like the way that looks with the starry sky showing in between. And now I'm going to put that on the front of my card, making sure it opens that way. And then we'll put the letters on. Okay, and there we go. Okay, so now if I take off my painter's tape, it's going to take off some of that. Even though I rubbed it, I guess I was on there just a little too thick. It took a little of my paper off. And there are my letters. Whoops, the V wants to pop right out. That's okay. And then the E. Let me just grab, do I have scissors over here? Thought I brought some scissors over. Okay, and grab my take your pick tool. And of course, this one has the stylus on the end. I really thought I took out a pair of scissors and brought them over here. Well, my pencil fits right in there to get that out. Come on. Always when you're on a live, you can't do these kinds of things. Well, here's a different pair of scissors. There we go. It wants to stay in there. I don't want to lose those. Here's my O. Okay. So now, let's see where L. I had been thinking I would go right down like this. My husband and I love to hike in the mountains, but I don't know if I like that crossing those lines. What do you think? Like that, or perhaps all fitting into one square? Like that. I'm maybe I need to say, I love, and then I was thinking I might want to use this U from the Amazing Silhouettes dies, the ones that have thanks and amazing and you. I love you. I think the I's going to look awfully lonely up there. I don't know. If they were a different color and they stood out a little bit more, I might be able, well, I think I'm going to do it that way. I think I'm going to go across all three. If you think that's a terrible idea, speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, so now I have to take the adhesive release paper off that adhesive sheet again. And I'm just trying to lift that up with my nail. Once you get it started, it comes off pretty easily. And now that letter is all nice and sticky. I have a little, here we go, L. Now take this one off. My hands look larger than life. There we go. And the O. Those letters aren't going to go anywhere with this adhesive sheet on the back. And I'm going to take it off from the bottom so that I'm not stretching out one side or the other of that V as I pull them off. And now just the E left. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. And then love. All right. What do you think? Do we want a love you? I think I'm just going to do a love. Just the love there. And then on the inside, I was thinking Happy Valentine's Day. But I'm thinking it's going to be, this is from the Country Bouquet, too long to go across the inside of that card. Let's see. It's gonna make it. I thought I might have to cut it. But I think it's going to be okay. Okay, so I'm going to use the Starry Sky ink. On the Happy Valentine's Day. And I better get it right because I'm going to stamp it right inside this card. So I'm going to use my grid paper to line it up. Where's that dark line? Nice and straight. And now I feel like my ink has bubbled up or slid off a little. Okay. And put Happy Valentine's Day. Give that a minute to soak in. There we go. Happy Valentine's Day. Now, I'm feeling like this front does need something else. So maybe a couple of hearts stamped on the top, or punched heart. Let me get the punch that goes with that set. Unfortunately, this punch was so popular right away, it sold out, as did the Shamrock punch. So if you want that bunny punch, get it now. I'm going to punch out a couple of hearts from this. I think, oh, I got a little nick in my heart. I'm going to have to do another one. I think I brought over another piece of, yes, the Starry Night. I like these two hearts layered like this, like next to each other quite often. And I don't know, that might be too big. There's maybe just, I did bring over another punch. This is an older heart punch, but that's even bigger. I think I'm going to do another little punch, little heart. And just put two hearts up here. What do you think? Same way, different way. I think I'll put two hearts on that one right there. Now those don't have the adhesive back on them, so I'll just use a little bit of my, do I want that one there? No, go the other way. Go that way. Liquid glue. Just a little bit on the back. And put this one there. There you go. Two hearts. Just to give it a little something else to look at on the front. And there you go. There's a Valentine. So I think I'm going to see how many more of these cards I could get off of this. I need to cut them 3 by 8. And if I can do this same layout, but make it into a birthday card. So another, I know this is not 8 inches. I think it's 7 and I don't know, because I cut the other one off. There's 3. Is this 6? Ah, it is. Look at that. 3 is perfect to get maximum use out of this. I hate to waste my designer series paper, especially when you only get a couple of sheets of each pattern. So now I need a mat, and my mat is going to be 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. And this, I already trimmed the 8 1/2 inch side to 8 1/4, I thought. Yes. So this side is 8 1/4. So now I want 3 1/4, right? 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So here's another one. And there's There's another one. Okay. Whoops. And I'm going to quickly cut at least 2 of these pieces of paper at 1 1/4, like we did before. 1 1/4, 1 3/4, sorry. 1 3/4, and then 2 1/2. The mountains are a little different on each one, so I maybe should have cut that one up a little higher to keep the mountain together, but I didn't. Let's see this one, 1 3/4. And where does 2 1/2 does a little better on this one. All right, so we'll do this one next. So I don't want to do out the whole happy birthday again. To be honest, doing that whole birthday out is more than I wanted to do, getting it lined up and all of that. So I think on this one, I'm going to abbreviate it the way I've seen a few others do it and do HB and then the number 2 and U. And we'll see where we can put those on the front here. Oh, I've got that on terribly crooked. Thank goodness for liquid glue. There we go. Saved. Saved by wiggle room. Okay. All right, so let's get these letters out. Okay, I have to find, here they are. I'm going to put love back in. H, let's see. Here's the V. Here's the L. Oh, I have this upside down. That might help. O. And E. It looks like maybe there was another I and it's lying around someplace. I'll have to look for that. Okay, so I'm going to do H, B, H, B, 2, and then U. HB2U. Now where is that going to fit? Let's take a peek. HB, HB2U. HB2U. Now, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think we'll cut the letters out of the starry sky and maybe put them on a large circle or a large die. So let's get a piece of, looks like that will do it, piece of the adhesive paper. And you can see on the back there's some splits that help you peel off the release paper to get it on the back of your cardstock. Put it on this side. have some sticky stuff on my fingers. And then I'm going to put these on. And other than making sure I've got the adhesive, got them on adhesive, yeah, I'm not going to worry about the spacing or trying to use this piece of paper again. HB. I just want to keep those in line a little bit. I don't want them to overlap. They don't need to stay straight or anything like that, but I don't want them to overlap. When you use your mini, you always want to stagger your plates. It has a little roller on it, and it has a little bit of a harder time grabbing, so I have my plates staggered. That one's sticking out more than the next one and more than the one after that. And then it should go right in and grab without any difficulty. And I'm going to go back just because of that adhesive sheet. I want to get a really good cut. Okay. It really does mash this tape right onto. Quiet. There's a dog barking in the hallway. My dogs are going to bark. I'm going to hope they won't bark. Shh. But no, Ava, good girl. Quiet. Shh. Shh, 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 shh. Shh, 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 shh. Oh, that dog's going to deserve a bone when this is all over. Okay, HBTU. And I'm going to leave those right there. I'm going to grab a punch. I'm going to get the decorative circle punch and another white punch. And we'll see how this looks. I know I have some white lying around here. There we go. Oh, I don't want white. White is going to be too, well, I don't know, maybe white. Too stark on this? Maybe not. Let's see. Might be pool party would be a better color. That's kind of what this is here. We'll take our letters out and take a peek. Okay. H. B. Let's see. That's not going to fit on there, even if I put them in really, really close. I think that's a little bit too squished. And I don't know, what do you think about that white color on there? Do you like the white, or do you think pool party might be better? I have a piece of pool party right here. Let's see. There's a different punch. Let's see if this punch is any bigger. Nope, it's not. I have one other idea. So I don't really like it hanging off that punch. I don't know what you think. What about if I put it on something like this? And I have one more. Should it be HBD, happy birthday to you, or HB to you? Oh boy, I don't know. Or maybe just stamp happy birthday on there. Let's stamp. I'm going to take a totally different turn with this. Totally different. I like to cut the S off of that and do thank you. Nope. So the slimline cards take a little getting used to for doing the sentiments on them. I think we need a D. HBD to you. And then I will spread it out a little bit. Let me grab another. This is why I save all my little scraps of this. I have a small piece right here that I can trim and put on this, and I can run this D through really quick. Okay, thank goodness. Oh, turn it over, Lorraine. My D would have been backwards. Okay. I haven't cut a card base for this one yet, but I will do that in a minute. Okay, so I think I'm going to do HBD, happy birthday. We'll just copy the same layout basically as the love card. Happy birthday to you. To you. Maybe. This is what I get for trying to do this on the fly, right? Not being 100% satisfied with it, but I think we're going to have to go with that. Happy birthday to you. Do I dare cut one more thing? Cut out an exclamation point? No, I'm just going to do happy birthday to you. And we'll center each of those on there. Okay, let's do it. I think I wanted to save paper and go vertical with this, but with these letters, it might be that the landscape orientation is a little bit better. But I am going to send this card, you can be sure. I have a lot of February and March birthdays that I need to send cards out for. So this will definitely go to somebody who loves mountains, somebody who's outdoorsy. And I think they'll like it. Happy birthday. To, and then the U. And I'll just pop this on a card base, and I will have another birthday card ready to go. Happy birthday to you. So I'm grabbing another piece of the thick basic white, and we'll cut another card base. I want it to be 8.5 by 7, so I know that's already 8.5. And I'll just open this up and do 7, or sometimes I'm lazy and I would have just cut 4 inches off the other end, but I don't want to show you that lazy side of myself. I'll only tell you about it. And now we'll score it at 3.5. And we'll put this one on. And then I'll finish that third card and I'll post it on this Facebook page later on. And you can see what I did on that one. Okay. I am not lined up as evenly as I would like. I'm going to try move that over a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. Okay. So throw a little glue on the back of this. I could use some of those, the In Color 2022 to 2024 In Color dots on here. If I can find those quickly. This is a pretty well loved batch. I have some of the Orchid Oasis, which would be just fine on here. Let's see. I'll put one there and one here. The Orchid Oasis is really, I think, just a lighter shade of the just a lighter shade of the Starry Sky. I like to do a triangle somehow, but I'm having trouble coming up with a spot. I should have gone this way. Can I move these? Sometimes you can. Yep. Sometimes you cannot. Can I get lucky twice? And I got a little something there, so I'm going to have to put one back there. There we go. Happy birthday to you. And then I can put something on the inside and maybe just put one of these each right at the bottom of that flower. And then love. So there you have it. Those two cards, and then the first one that I had made that went this way. And I have one more that I'm going to make in the same layout, but maybe write something different on. So thank you very much for joining me today. I love to make cards. I love to help people make cards at home. I would love for you to join my free Zoom class. It's every Tuesday night. The information's all on this Facebook page on Mondays and Tuesdays. And if I can help you to make cards at home or answer any questions for you, please reach out. I would love to do that. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.